A really fun fact about me that you probably didn't know is that I love writing stories. I like writing novels, I like writing novellas, I like writing short stories. Recently, I had this really intense, super vivid dream and I can't get it out of my mind, and I'm taking that as a sign to write about it, because sometimes your best ideas can come from dreams. Twilight was written because Stephanie Meyer had some sort of dream and she was like, I want to write about it. Also, dreams are a big part of my life and I cannot recall any of my dreams. Every time I try to think of it, everything just goes fuzzy in my mind and I need my dreams, even though sometimes they can be scary. So I'm hoping that if I write about this dream, then it can like leave my mind and then I can get new dreams. I am going to explain my dream. So picture a science lab, but it's kind of abandoned, kind of decrepit. A bunch of scientists are just sitting in there and they're talking, they're doing their little science experiments. All of a sudden, the crazy woman comes bursting in. She bypasses security, she bypasses all the security guards, she just gets in the building and she's screaming at these scientists. They look at her and they're like, how did you find us? And she's like, the world is dying, the world is dying, the sun's gonna explode, the sun's gonna explode, it's Armageddon, it's Armageddon, it's Armageddon, it's Armageddon. And they're like scared, like backing into the corner. One scientist gets a fire extinguisher and he's like, we gotta get her out of here. She gets taken out, but she's still screaming Armageddon. She's like the village, I don't want to say like crazy lady, but you know the lady who's like really psychic? Like when you go to see her, she'll like read your palm. She'll be like, I can sense there's danger in your future. Don't talk to that stranger. Don't do this. Like she's that kind of woman. And something possessed her. I don't know what it was, but she was possessed as she was running in. It cuts back to the scientists and they're sort of like, the sun is not going to explode. It's not the end of the world. I don't know why she's thinking that. She must be on drugs or something. Right? Now, it immediately flashes to the galaxy, and this is what scares me, is because this was so vivid in my mind, and I'm like, why am I thinking about this? I don't know. So, imagine like a giant solar system. We're in space now. The sun, like, wells up, like, it gets bigger, but then it just goes, poof. You know in Coraline, there's that scene where the world starts turning grey? That's what happened to the entire solar system. It was just flaking away, and it was, like, gone. Let's go back to Earth. Now, there's a lot of like missing gaps in this dream, but we're just gonna roll with it because we can like make it up as we go along when I'm actually writing my story. We're in this massive friend group. Running through the street, the entire world has this orange haze over it, and now if the sun actually died, I'm pretty sure everything would go into darkness, but regardless, there's orange haze everywhere, and somehow someone knows that the world is ending, so it's like, let's go to the servo, or the gas station, let's go in there and let's raid it for supplies. So we go in and we basically steal all this stuff. Like we have the trolleys and then we're just tossing stuff into the trolleys and we're not gonna pay for it. Obviously, like the world is ending, like what are you talking about? So many families start running into the servo. They're like, we need food, we need to like stock up. But they're too late. Now, we as a group just like sprint out, and I feel kind of guilty in this dream. Like in the dream, I'm like, all the families that they could need some of this. And I think the world is now like actually decrepit because everything's dark, everything's scary. The group that I was once in is now really small. I think there's like 3 people. Basically, we're like strong in the streets and like I'm scared. Like in this dream, like I'm terrified. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So then we find this like abandoned looking house. It's like a big house. It seems like a perfect place to like crash, to go in. So we go in there and then I wake up. And that's all I remember. I don't know, I feel like it was kind of an interesting dream and like I just can't get it out of my mind. So let's write about it. My typical writing medium is on my iPad or it's on my phone. I use notes to sort of get my ideas, and then pages, I will transfer things I wrote in notes into pages, which is basically like a Word knockoff. But I also downloaded this app, it's called Old Notebook, and I'm sort of writing some ideas on there and again, transferring it to pages. So I would say pages is my writing medium. I just type like on the keyboard that they give you, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you sometimes when I'm really feeling fancy, I will use this. Basically what this is you can connect your device to it and then type. I can't really type because I've got really long nails, but I'm going to try. But typically I just use like the keyboard that comes with, you know what kind of keyboard I'm talking about, like. Why am I so aggressive when I type? Okay, so I only have written that many words. This is totally not needed, and I don't do this for a lot of my stories, but for you guys, I will. I'm going to go on Pinterest, and I'm going to make a sort of vision board kind of thing. I'm going to save a whole bunch of photos to the board and then we're going to go through it. I honestly think photos can be a good writing prompt. Like if you find a good photo, then look at the photo and then write a scene from that specific photo, because I think that's what people do when they sort of get the inspiration, because otherwise why would you have boards for your story if you're not going to like use them as sort of writing prompts? I saw something that said that your Pinterest home screen says a lot about you as a person. What do you think mine says about me? I think that's so pretty. Look how pretty that is. That's actually scary. That's scaring me. Okay, so these are the character ideas so far of who I think I might want to be in this story. This is some of like the vibe. I really like this one. Like, I really like that. I'm gonna read to you my favorite lines. Now just keep in mind that this is a first draft, okay? And I write for fun. No one is seeing this story, meaning I can make it however as I want. I'm gonna give you, okay, let me just, I think I'm hilarious. I do. So, the first character that I'm going to read a little snippet about, her name is called Scarlet Ivers. Now, we know about her is that she's pretty, but she's also weird. Let me explain. The kind of weird where she would make odd animal noises to scare people away. She would go dumpster diving for fun, immersing herself in piles of stinking garbage. She would carve satanic symbols from school property because it scared the teachers and younger students. Her mother was terribly disappointed in her. When she was a child, Scarlet was put in pageants and she hated them because they were boring. Her mother wouldn't stop pressuring her to wear cutesy ball gowns, so she had to take matters into her own hands. When she was on stage, she was supposed to toss glitter in the air and twirl in sparkles. This horrified Scarlet, so when she got on stage, she made a run for the judges' table and bit the man in the middle. She had a tough bite for a small child because she ripped a chunk out of his arm and proceeded to spit the skin at the woman next to him. Needless to say, she was banned of ever competing in a pageant again, and her mother finally left her alone. From that point on, Scarlet did peculiar things to keep people away. I'm going to go now. Maybe I should continue writing this story and then read it to you guys because I think it could be funny. I think I want to call it Armageddon, because that crazy lady, she, ran into the science building and screamed, Armageddon, Armageddon, wah! I haven't actually written that part yet because I feel like I need to be in the right mindset to do that. But yes, thank you for listening to my rant. I will finish this story. I think it could be funny. It could be scary, but I think it could be funny. So I'm gonna get to that.